Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow. Yes, I am back here in Moscow. I'm actually not too far from the center of Moscow. I'm very close to Ladozhskaya metro station, and I found a very interesting supermarket that for me is very typical because it's a very well-known brand here in Russia. However, this place is actually open 24 hours a day, and it has a cafe as well. So I thought we'd go for a walk around and have a look how amazing this place is. Now that autumn is very close in Russia, the leaves on the trees are starting to fall, and Moscow and Russia is transforming and slowly heading towards winter. This part of Moscow is very beautiful. It's very peaceful and very quiet. A lot of older Soviet buildings around, and there's actually a closed walking precinct just up the street. Lots of cafes, lots of eateries, and then there's this supermarket tucked away here called Perekrestok, and it translates to crossroads in English. It's a very well-known brand. There's more than 1,000 of these across all of Russia. Pretty much every city has at least one of them. There's obviously a few more here, but this is 24 hours, and it has a cafe and dining area as well in a supermarket. Let's jump on inside. I'm fairly sure that this might be a newly opened location because they've got balloons outside. And we always know in Russia who the richest man in the whole country is. It's the guy that owns the balloon factory and manages to sell balloons to all of these new stores and places that open. So 24 hours a day trading. So no matter what time of day or night you can come, it's open. They actually have a pickup point here. This is called 5 Post, and it's connected to the actual brand of supermarket. They've actually got pickup points now in all of the supermarket chains. So what we're going to do, this is actually the exit where is the self-checkout, and then the cashier's right here. However, this is what I want to show, is this cafe right in the front, and also all these nice cakes and different snacks that you can get. Now, of course, you can do your normal shopping in here and check out and leave the store. And of course, that's very traditional and very typical. What they've got over here is they've got a cafe, and they've got a barista who's making coffees, and he also is doing sandwiches as well. And there's a little short order menu right here. And then you've got these panini style sandwiches that you can order. Pretty sure he's doing coffee at the moment. And then they've actually got a cafe area, or at least somewhere where you can sit and dine. They've also got pizza by the slice, and you can get yourself pizza. Now the sitting area isn't very big. However, it's somewhere where you can actually come and have something to eat. There's a microwave if you want to warm up some food, utensils, and then they've got another kitchen right here where they've got sushi. Now they've got packaged sushi just like this, and then they've also got somebody making the sushi. There's a lady here doing sushi literally a la carte, and the same with the pizzas. They do it in the oven just in the back there. So you're going to be able to get fresh food 24 hours a day. And this is the main floor of the supermarket. So you actually have to kind of walk through the cafe to get to the rest of the store. We've got some nice bakery items. These little mini pizzas are very nice from here as well. What I'll try to do is do a little bit of a walk around of the supermarket so we can get an idea of what they've got. Lots of nice fruits and vegetables. Perekrestok is a very well-known brand in Russia that everybody knows. It is a very typical brand that's in every city of Russia. Now, the actual chain that owns Perekrestok has other brands above and below this company. So if you want the cheaper version of this brand, you can go to other company stores if you wanted to. Lots of fruit, and no matter what season you can buy different fruits in or out of season as well. Of course, it's really a matter of what your choice is. Watermelons right here. And then they also have in-house branded products as well as regular Russian brands. So you might see sometimes the Crossroad logo on some of the items. And then otherwise it's all Russian companies that will provide the food to this supermarket chain. And then all of the vegetables. And then if you want to buy it by weight, it's literally weigh your own vegetables. So you actually choose what you want and then put a sticker on them according to how many you want to buy. And then all of the traditional dairy items, things like yogurts, milks, and everything in between. This actual store, I was just walking past it on my way home from another location, and I just recognized that it had the cafe in here, and I thought it's only appropriate to make a video of a 24/7 supermarket that's here in Russia, so I hope you enjoy the video. Pretty much most things that you'll see here in the dairy section are very typical and very normal Russian brands. I did see on a few people's videos people talking about all of the butter is in anti-theft containers, but it definitely isn't. And regardless of the price, it's all on the shelves there, no worries at all. You can see here then all the rest of the dairy items. So these are all very normal, typical brands that you'll find in every chain of supermarket in Russia. Perekrestok does have a little bit of other imported food items that you won't see everywhere. And they'll have some of their own in-house brands as well. There's some new bananas, get ready to be put out. Children's food section. Lots of very typical brands and some of the Western brands as well, you'll see there. And then walking around frozen section, if you want ice creams. Now, the frozen section in most Russian supermarkets is not very big because there is so much fresh and ready-made food that you don't necessarily need or want frozen items. I'm always curious who buys frozen pizzas in Russia when you can buy regular pizza for a cheaper or similar price. They have fresh juice here from Mexico. If you're curious about imported items, they usually have a white sticker here, which is the translated ingredient list for Russian domestic sale. So when you know it's not from Russia, they'll have that white label on there. All of the chocolate, candy, biscuits. I think everybody knows Oreo. Everybody knows Belvita. So there's all of the well-known brands in here. Nutella. It's a little bit expensive in this shop compared to other stores. However, you can still definitely buy it. Of course, it's very tempting just to walk around and show everything, which is what I like to do on the videos. That's why they tend to be a bit longer, because I want to make sure you get to see and feel the shop just like I'm seeing it. Lots of the imported chocolates. I just noticed over here they've got one from Indonesia as well. I was looking to see if they've got any British ones, but I don't see any on the shelf there. Maybe they have them somewhere else. And then they do actually have a fairly big healthy section, or healthy food products, if that's what they're called. All of these energy bars. And they've even put the recyclable plates here as well. I guess they're trying to match that healthy living. I'm not sure how that's worded. It's very interesting they've got that in this store separated. Generally in most shops they have it, but not probably on this scale of choice. And they've even got a separate dairy section here with all of the I think, healthy versions of these things. Someone needs to let me know in the comments what I'm looking at. Perhaps from different suppliers than the regular ones in most other supermarkets. From the outside, the store doesn't look that big until you come on in and then just realize how big the store is and how much choice they have. You know, you think from the outside it's just a small convenience store, you know, 24 hours open. You know, you'd need plenty of staff to keep this store open around the clock. All of the normal cleaning products, pasta, and then they have a counter back here with all of the fish and salmon. Have a look. Fresh fish. I like how they put the beer right in front of the caviar and the vodka right there. It's very rare you see these properly stocked and filled. I'm not sure how many people want some Mexican or Irish beer with their caviar. However, it's sitting right there. And they've got this very nice counter here with all of the butchery items, all of the meats, cheese, fish, lots of smoked fish and dried fish right there. Very nice. And then you'll see here where they've got the ladies in the back, so they'll actually cut you what you want size-wise. So if you don't want large pieces, you can get them in smaller sizes. Has anybody seen these different flavors of Heinz made specifically for barbecuing? Very nice choices. And then the dairy section keeps going. So there's the packaged seafood. And then if you want some other chicken products, plenty of choices. Yeah, there's really a lot of selection in this store. And when I walked past it, I didn't realize how big this place was from outside. I didn't think the store was as big as what it is. And then coming on in, they have a very big selection. Also some of the imported colas as well. I think over here, Italian. And then I think also maybe the Pepsi there is from Belarus. And if you want a nice large selection of water, lots to choose from. I'm so impressed when I see the deli section in supermarkets and how many choices of ham and meats you can get. There is literally hundreds of choices. So that's the packaged ones. Then here at the counter, you can then choose just a smaller serving and they'll cut you as many slices as you like, big or small. And then the same with the cheese. So lots of choices of packaged cheese. And then all of the other brands. They do actually have some flags on their products here as well. I noticed back there some Swiss cheese. There's some from Argentina. Of course, lots of Russian cheeses. And then even from Belarus as well. And the other thing they've got here, they've got an in-house bakery. And they actually do their own bread in-house as well. So all of the things that you see on this wall would all be prepared in the store. And then they've also got pastries. And they've got ladies in the back there busy putting out the bread. With it being around the clock open, they obviously have people shopping at all hours, so it's not going to stop because it's late in the evening. Does anybody like macaroons? There's some other cakes here as well. These look very nice. So the thing with the in-house bakery is it keeps the price of bread to a more cheaper price point. So they can produce it in store. And you don't have all the costs of other brands when they're imported as well. There's the pizzas again. Oh my gosh. And then other types of bread. And they even have what I call the social bread right here, where they've got very inexpensive loaves of bread. So even if you come to a premium or upscale sort of a supermarket, the price of bread is still kept to a bare minimum. And it says on the top there in Russian that it's made according to the law. And there is actually rules about the production of bread. But 50 cents a loaf for any of the bread in this fridge is very reasonable. There is regular packaged bread as well, but I think most people are happy with the baked in-house product over here on this side. And then as we walk towards the exit of the store, it's a little bit strange layout, this shop generally. So they've got things a little bit backwards and forwards at the same time. All of the cakes. I like how they put the champagnes in the same fridge. And they've got the alcohol here. Now, this is where it's for sale. And this is how far it is to the register. And in this sort of store, it's not a problem to put it on a blind spot around the corner and not have it immediately next to the register. It's really interesting how they spread it out like this. All of the spirits and then chips. And I think the rest of these aisles are all beer. And you'll see on these ends, they've got all of the salted snacks. If you want something that you want to eat with your beer, they have it. Not too sure, these are alcoholic. I think they're just regular lemonade from Georgia. This looks very interesting. I don't have a Perekrestok immediately where I live, so I don't come to these stores very often, unless it's when I'm out and about or I'm in another part of Moscow or Russia. So it's very interesting when you come in here after going to your local stores. I have 7 different supermarkets where I live within walking distance of my house. So I don't even need to seek out one of these branded stores. I can definitely buy everything where I live. Now, most people that will be shopping here will live in this immediate area and literally perhaps in the buildings right behind the store. It won't be people who will travel here to this shop. Lots of nice meats as well. It's really interesting when I'm walking around here now. There is quite a few people in the store. The thing with Russia as a country, there is so many choices of other places to come shopping. And most people will tell me that the shop is empty, people don't have any food in their hand, they've got only a few items in their baskets. And the thing is, generally, Russians like to shop daily. So most of the things that Russians are shopping for are for perhaps today or tomorrow at the most, and they're not shopping for a whole week. So most people are coming literally every day to a store like this to come and buy something. And especially if it's the local store to where they live, it's not inconvenient to come down here and grab something. They actually have a coffee machine here right by the registers, so you can choose and make yourself coffee, and then you're able to use the self-checkouts. Now, a lot of the new stores, they're putting a lot more of these self-checkouts in the store and encouraging, obviously, a quicker exit from the store. Pay for your items and head on out. And then they still have the normal registers over here with the lady sitting down, and where you want that personal service, you can still get it. It's very interesting when there's 15 or 20 checkouts and then people are still queuing up because they want to be helped by the lady. And then all of the grab and go items at the register. I like this, how they've got vodka right up here and the well-known Beluga brand as well. Then on the back of the cafe when we first walked in, they've got all of the ready food. So all of this food is cooked, and literally you can just purchase it, microwave it, and dinner is ready. Lots of choices of sandwiches and very tasty food in this store. I've definitely had food in this brand of store before. I've actually even showed me doing some tasting of the pizza. I like these gift packs of the alcohol. And if Johnny Walker is not in Russia, how can I buy a bottle with a few glasses right there 2.5 years after they said that they weren't in Russia? One question I really have for everybody is, where you live in the world, is this what a 24-hour supermarket looks like? And no matter the country where you live, let me know, is this the type of supermarket that you have that's 24 hours? Is this a selection of products? Now, most people are going to say to me, Russell, you're in Russia, you're in Moscow. The stores are always going to be beautiful. Now, if you go back only a few videos ago, I was in Yekaterinburg making a video about different supermarkets there. So I don't see this as any different. And this brand of supermarket I can go to as far east as 3,000 or 4,000 kilometers from Moscow, and I would find a store exactly like this. But is this what your local 24-hour supermarket looks like? Let me know, please, in the comments. As I'm coming almost to the end of the video, something caught my eye. Now, I did briefly just show this alcohol, and I thought it's very interesting. Where is all the other alcohol hiding? Now, there's some spirits here and some liqueurs. It's a little bit of a mixture as well, if you want some other spirits. And then you see here this sign and this little right-hand turn, and it's what's called a wine theatre. And then they've got this little nook right here with wine and spirits. They do have some premium and high-end wines as well. And then they've got this very nice alcohol section. There is nobody in here. There was a few people earlier, and I decided to come back when it was a bit quieter. And then all of the wine is set out by country. So you'll see in Russian, of course, all the different country names, but there's different flags of all the regions. And I was thinking, is there Australian wine? I just noticed over here, New Zealand wine. And then up the top corner here, they have two different types, actually 3 different types of Australian wine. And I can get a bottle for $9 for some Australian wine here in Russia. And then all of the champagnes and sparkling wine. They've got basically wine of all price and value. So it's not just premium wines. There is a lot of inexpensive ones as well. And then all of the other spirits. So lots of cognacs and brandies right here. I think most people know Hennessy as a brand. And all of the whiskies. Now, if someone can please tell me how it is that 2.5 years has passed and I can walk into this new store and find Jim Beam and Jack Daniels sitting right on the shelf. We can find all of the Johnny Walker brands right there. There's even Macallan up the end. So there is all of the choices. Anybody's had the apple flavored Jack Daniels, $26 a bottle, right about. And they do actually have a selection of Russian vodka because they have to. I think it's mandatory that they have that in Russia. And this gentleman's probably lost for choice with all the different types. There's also More wines over on this side. So all of these yellow tickets are the ones that are on special and on promotion. So they'll have those weekly. That'll change. Martini as well. More than available. So how is this all here in Russia if everybody decided to leave Russia? Actually, I just noticed again the Australian flag, and they've got, I think, at least a few different choices here. And there's some from Portugal as well. And the Australian ones are on special. Not too bad for $10 a bottle, $7 a bottle for Australian wine, and I'm in Russia. So as I head on out of Perekrestok, I really hope you've enjoyed this walk around of a Russian typical 24-hour supermarket. Now they do have 24-hour supermarkets all over Russia. It's not just because I'm in Moscow where I live, we have them as well. And I'm 50 kilometers from Moscow. Actually, it's dark outside now. Now I can tell that winter's coming when it's dark so soon. And people are flocking in as I'm heading on out. I really hope this was an interesting video. This is a very busy part of Moscow that I'm in here. And lots of people coming and going. And I think around the clock, this place is always busy. And the fact that it's newly opened and newly built, I really like that wine section. I thought that was very cool. That's my background before making YouTube videos, was working in alcohol shops and selling duty-free alcohol particularly. So it's interesting to see that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and post a comment. Let me know how this compares to a 24-hour supermarket where you live, regardless of the country or the city you're in. Let me know, what is the difference? Is it open like that? Is it easy just to walk in and pay and leave? Is there butter locked up? And even the alcohol section there, I was free just to walk around without a problem. If you'd like to follow me on Telegram, I'll post the link to my channel. I put lots of photos there every day of my travels here in Russia. And then if you want to see another video, another type of video here in Russia, there's a link right now. You can click that. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.